Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing a how to build on LR Margaret. So today I got LR Margaret. As you can see, she has a lot of CC and I'm still rocking my Halloween outfit because I prefer this outfit over the LR one because the LR one's a little bit mediocre in my opinion. But of course, on with it. First thing, we always look at stats. A lot of pierce rate. She has probably one of the best overall stat sets in the game. I'm just going to say, this is HP defense. 252% crit damage, HP defense. Yes, you can say the argument that I have every weapon. I have 5 weapons for her. But it's not hard. Margaret's been out for 3 years. 2 years this year, 3 years next year. So, 143% crit chance, about the same as the Ultimate one. Insanely high pierce rate, quite good resistance, very high crit defense. This may even be the highest crit defense in the game, base. 106% crit resistance is high, crit defense very high. Lifesteal is actually very good as well. 21% lifesteal for a character like Margaret, who's going to be doing a lot of damage, is very good. On to ult level, of course, I do have a 6/6. I got really lucky. She was like 2/6, and then I pulled 4 copies of her during Liz's banner, so I do have a 6/6 now. Increase all enemies' damage taken by 50% for 2 turns, and inflicts Sever damage equal to 945%, which is like normal Sever ultimate damage. Attack on 1 enemy, so a single target. And then this is, of course, the 6/6 effect, which is block all enemies' skill effect, including those of ultimates, and decrease damage dealt with ultimate moves by 30% for 2 turns. It's actually kind of broken. I like it. I like it a lot because it actually lasts for 2 full turns, so the enemies have to deal with 2 full turns of no effects, because debuffs, of course, only roll over during the end of your turn. So it does last for 2 turns, which is nice. Of course, we do have the new skill, really, the charge skill that got a debuff attached to it, as well as an increased multiplier. So it does 143%, still has charge, and lowers crit resistance by 20%, 215%, and then 30% crit res lower. And then 358% with a 50% crit resistance low. 50% crit resistance is very good, especially when she has insanely high crit chance. She then boosts crit chance as well. Liz has a lot of crit chance. Mael has a decent chunk of crit chance, not the highest, but still quite nice. You're going to be seeing a lot of crits with Goddess team, which is kind of what they needed. They had a quite big problem, especially Mael, was he just couldn't crit enough, to a point where it's kind of embarrassing. Like Mael couldn't crit enough. You got people like Lost Vein, who can crit like every hit now. You got the Ultimate one, who could in the day crit a lot. And Mael couldn't crit much at all. But onto the buff. So the level 1 buff didn't get changed at all, which is the normal removes debuffs, damage reduction, and then damage dealt. Level 2 got changed, increasing it by 10%. So as you can see, it used to go to 30 to 40, and then 20 to 30. Now it goes straight to 50%, which is actually kind of insane. Increased damage dealt by 50%, and decreased damage taken by 40%. And level 3, pretty sure just had these 2 buffed. The overall increase of basic stats didn't get changed, but the damage dealt once again will increase by another 10%. So it's 60% increased damage dealt and 50% decreased damage taken, which is a lot. Of course, then you go to a passive, her Grace, which is actually one of the best graces in the game in my opinion. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with HP-based characters, but sometimes you got to take some bad things to get some good things. Increase the area's attack by 5% for each stance or buff on the enemy when using the skill. Of course, as a Grace, it's kind of insane. You think about it. Meta characters, Albedo, who has stances, got millions of buffs. You'd be doing a lot, especially if you then mix that with someone like Transcendent Barn. Even more damage, insane. Then we go on to a passive, which is increase a Goddess ally's basic stats by 8% every time an ally uses a stance or buff skill. Also, this does go up if you use a, let's say you pop a Sariel counter and they would continuously attack your Sariel counter, it reprocs Margaret's passive every single time. Means technically in 2 turns, you could max out Margaret's passive just by playing 2 buff skills. Sorry, a stance skill and a buff skill with Green Sariel on the team if they were to attack you 3 times. And of course, Sariel was to survive every hit. Of course, then that's up to 40%. And then in addition, this is the LR part of the passive now. In addition, increase allies, Goddess allies, crit chance and crit damage by 4% for each debuff removed, so it's not every buff you have, it's for every debuff removed from the hero's skill use. So, can't be passive, even though her passive doesn't actually cleanse, but it has to be from her skill. Which is kind of nice, because, well, if you think about it, you got Hell, who basically just gives you 3 debuffs immediately. you know, let's just say you attack with 2 different characters and then cleanse, you're against a hell team, you're already at max crit chance and crit damage, which is very good, especially for the fact she has 252% crit chance. This is without attack crit dam, of course. I'll show you with attack crit dam. And of course, her relic, which is, you know, as old as time itself. For each ally from the archangels on the battlefield, increase heroes damage dealt by 5% and decrease the heroes damage taken by 5% as well, which is very nice. Gear-wise, once again, HP defense, all 14%, apart from this one, which is 13.6. Once again, 14.3 attack, and then outfits, of course, got all of them max, got all of these max, and got all of these max. The only reason I have these max is because, of course, Red Marg is for a Nidhogg, so of course they maxed out everything for the most use, basically, to make it easier, but as much as the easiest it can be. And then, of course, relic stats. I'm pretty sure this is a 1000 CC relic, so I will have a video going on about the 3 different relic types, because there is actually 3 different relic types, which of course I'll go on to in another video probably soon. Maybe tomorrow, depends on when I record it, because I've got to record it and do all that kind of stuff. But now I'm going to show you the damage. What I will do is I'll pop a golden buff skill and then her ultimate straight away. So she'll have 1 stack, so you get the 1%, the 8% basic stats. So 1 stack of her passive, and then of course then we'll ult, and we'll see how much damage she'll do. Of course there will be some sort of like margin for damage. What I mean by that is, you know, I could pop the ult 3 times and the number be, you know, high, low, and middle, depends on which damage number I roll. Also to remove the ultimate, I don't really want to watch it. 1.1 mil HP defense, very good. Bear in mind, she only had 1 stack of a passive. Yes, she did have a gold buff, but she didn't have any supporters as well. Now we're going to switch to attack crit dam, and we're going to see, like, her insane amount. She has, like, her CC now is 73,000. Switch to attack crit, which is, like, it's okay. It's about maybe a little bit better, like rolls-wise. 68k is very good, and of course, 272% crit damage, which is a lot of crit damage. Like, I think that's probably the highest crit damage you can get in the game. Like, of course, without having like crit damage rolls on a character sort of thing. Once again, we'll do this. I want to see how much damage. I reckon she'll probably do 1.4. I want to say 1.4 million. Because I believe a lot in my Margaret. I was correct. Oh my god, nearly 1.5 though. Very good. But is it worth it? No, I would just say run HP defense, because the difference is only 300k, which in PvP is probably not going to be that much, because you probably end up hitting 1.4 million anyway, because of course you'll have buffs from, you know, your allies, as well as getting more Margaret stacks themselves. So I think it's just more worth running HP defense for Margaret. And also HP defense is what set I recommend on Nidhogg as well, because, well, you really want your, let's say, because if you do have blue LR Margaret, you don't need red Margaret for Nidhogg. Yeah, red Margaret is still better to have, but you can still run blue, and there won't be as, you know, there still won't be problems. You can still do it. Like, one of my mates doesn't have red Margaret. He had blue Margaret and green Freya, and he still did it, like, every week. And now he has red, and now he's red Freya, and he's still using blue Margaret, but when he LRs blue Margaret, you know, it's just a better thing overall. Of course, HP defense, more TC, you know, you're going first, that's what you kind of want to do in PvP. And in PvE, you're probably going to be running a HP defense, so that means you are able to, you know, get more points in Knighthood boss, or, you know, Final boss, or, you know, all these other kind of things, even Hero Arena, because bloody hell, now you need insane gear for Hero Arena. HP defense is probably the way to go, of course, if you are trying to attempt the higher difficulties, that being Champion and Challenger, I think are the 2 highest ones. I just do Master because I'm lazy. But anyway, yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.